Morning, everyone. I hope this is working. I've never recorded a Zoom thing before, but I figured since we unfortunately are not going to be doing our lessons live today, I figured maybe I could at least read the books we were going to read so that you guys had something to listen to and could get started on your work. I don't know about you guys, but that was a crazy storm we just had this morning. One of the trees in my field got hit by lightning, and I have to say I'm very glad I tucked my horses in for the morning or for the night because they would have been very scared if the lightning was that close to them. Good to know, though, that they are all safe and happily munching hay in their stalls. Okay, so the first book we are going to read, that I was going to read with group 1, is called It is Halloween. And I'm going to try to screen share it so that you guys can look at it with me. All right, I hope this works. This book is called It is Halloween, and it is written by Laura Appleton Smith and illustrated by Preston Neal. Before we start, maybe take a look at the cover of this book and wonder what this book might be about. I'll give you a second to think about what you think it might be about and what might happen. All right. Ooh, this is also a chapter book. So while we're reading, take a look at the names of the chapters and think about what each chapter might be about. What does our author want us to learn about in this chapter 1, which is called Jack-o'-lanterns? It is Halloween, and John and Ellen and Gramps pick pumpkins. They pick and pick until they fill Gramps' red wagon. Gramps helps Ellen and John cut the biggest pumpkins into jack-o'-lanterns. The jack-o'-lanterns will sit on their front step for Halloween night. That's the end of chapter 1. So were we correct in assuming that the first chapter, called Jack-o'-lanterns, was about pumpkins? And a jack-o'-lantern is a pumpkin that people carve different faces or different designs out of as a festivity or as a fun little ornament for Halloween. Chapter 2, The Attic. I wonder what this chapter is about. Can you guess? What are they going to find up in the attic? Let's find out. Nana asks John and Ellen to visit the attic with her. Do not run, Nana tells them as they skip up the attic steps. Nana's cat, Tom, runs up the steps in front of them. Nana clicks on the attic lamp. In the back of the attic is a big black trunk with a brass lock on it. So that chapter was about the attic. And did you take a second, I might have gone through it too fast, take a look at all the things in the attic. I wonder which of those items in that illustration we might learn about next. Let's find out. Chapter 3, Dress-Ups. This is the Halloween trunk, Nana tells Ellen and John as she unlocks the lock and lifts the lid. The Halloween trunk is filled with hats and masks to dress up in. Do you guys see right here? I don't know if you can see my mouse. Lifts the lid. Didn't we just read a book with another lid in it? Didn't Jen's best gift ever have something with a lid on it? The present that she got for her birthday had a lid. So right here, the trunk with all of these dress-up clothes also has a lid on it. Interesting. John picks a 10-gallon hat, a bandana, and a black mask. Ellen picks a mask and a red, a red bonnet. Ooh, that mask looks a little bit scary, doesn't it? Nana hands a vest to John. She pulls a black dress from the rack for Ellen. It looks like they're all having lots of fun right now, that every single one of them is smiling. I would be giggling too if I was wearing a silly mask and bonnet like that, or that hat. But as Nana pulls the dress from the rack, Tom the cat is spooked. He jumps from a stack of boxes and bumps into the attic lamp. The lamp tips and lands at the top of the attic steps. Uh-oh. I feel like the next page that I turn, we're going to figure out what our initiating event is. What is going to happen that no one was prepared for? The light clicks off. The attic is black. Ooh. What are we on? Chapter 4? A spook. This might be our initiating event. And hopefully, if the internet cooperates, our next illustration will load. But while we're waiting for the illustration to load, I figured maybe we could ask a few questions. So, who are the characters in this book so far? Take a minute to think about who our characters are and what is the setting of our story? Where does it take place? So far our characters are John and Ellen and Nana, who must be the grandmother. That's probably what they call her. They call her Nana. And the cat. What was the cat's name? I'll go back and find some evidence on the last few pages. Ah, there it is. Tom. Tom the cat. He's also a character. And Tom, is the one that creates the initiating event. He gets spooked and something scary happens. And what is it that happens? He hits the light and everything goes black. Okay. Just then, big steps, clomp, 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 up in the attic. Ellen and John gasp and hug Nana tight. What is it, Nana? They ask. The steps stop. The light clicks back on. Oh, look at that shadow of that person. What is that person holding in the shadow? Do you see it? It looks a little scary to me. I would be spooked as well. It is just Gramps. He has a bucket filled with Halloween treats. Phew, that was a little scary for a minute. I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen, but looks like Gramps is just delivering treats to make everybody feel a little bit better about the spook that they had. Oh no, I hope our book keeps loading. Another few questions that I could ask while we're waiting. These are sort of memory questions. What was in the trunk? And what do John and Ellen do when they, what do they do with what they find in the trunk? A couple interesting questions to think about. Oh, good, our picture is loaded. Another chapter, trick or treats. Nana and Gramps stand on the front steps and hand out treats. The kids yell, trick or treat, as Gramps drops treats into their bags. The kids tell Nana and Gramps, thank you, and happy Halloween, as they go off into the Halloween night. Hand in hand, Ellen and John and Mom and Dad set out to trick or treat too. Get Tom the cat watching them go. When they get back, Ellen and John sit on the front steps next to their jack-o'-lanterns. As they snack on their treats, they plan what they will dress up as next Halloween. It was a fantastic Halloween night. And that's the end of our book. Another couple things to think about for this book is how the author builds suspense. There's some suspense in this book, and suspense means it makes you feel a little bit scared, like you don't really know what's going to happen, and it could be scary and it could be not scary. So the author builds suspense by the way that she writes her words and with all of the pictures, not really knowing what's going to happen next, but allowing us to guess what could happen next. like if you saw in, what chapter was it? Right here. The suspense from this illustration and the name of the chapter, a spook. It builds suspense so that we are curious to flip the page and figure out what happens. And thank goodness it was just Gramps. Another thing I wanted to note, which we sort of talked about a little bit, was the names of the chapters help us understand what is about to happen. So that is one of the helpful parts of having chapter books, is that it'll give us an idea of what is happening in the book and what might be happening next. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope this worked. And now I will try and post this onto Seesaw, and if it works and you are able to listen to the book with me and read the book with me, then you can get started on your Flyleaf packet. And if you have any questions, let me know, okay? I think I can stop share and have a wonderful day. I'm sorry we couldn't do this live, but next Monday we will for sure. Okay, bye everybody.